And I said, oh my God, I'd love to train, I'd love to do that. And Tab was like, well, go on then. I was like, well, I don't know how to. And I've got 4 kids, and so I can't. It just felt like I had nothing, even though I had everything. They put me with a counsellor, and then I was then diagnosed with PTSD. So I look back on when I was at my worst, and I do feel like if I hadn't have bumped into Becky on that day, if she hadn't have put me in touch with Johnny and I hadn't have found 179, it does scare me, like, where I would be now. Oh my God. My name is Vicky. I'm a hairdresser. I own my own salon. I've got 4 boys, aged between 17 being the eldest and 4 being the youngest. So during the pandemic in 2020, I found out I was pregnant on my 4th little boy. We went into lockdown.
You must stay at home.
I think like the hardest part then was going into the hospital on my own, but then also being in a mask, given an apron, given a pair of gloves.
Instead of allowing multiple people in the delivery room, many hospitals are allowing only 1 person or none at all.
Louis then, he was born not very well. He was put straight in an incubator. At the time, we obviously didn't know what was wrong with him. And then we didn't see him until he was 5 hours old. He did actually progress and got better quite slowly over a few days. And then day 7, we were discharged. Best day ever. And then we just enjoyed our family bubble for a few days, not really thinking anything of it. And then the roller coaster just started, where I then started to feel a little bit not myself, but not really knowing. Just thought it was baby blues. I just thought I've just had a baby, like everything would be fine. In the morning, when the kids wake up or the baby wake up, I wouldn't want to move. I just wanted to stay there and sleep and just forget the world. But I couldn't, because my boys needed me. I had to give the boys breakfast. I had to get their computers out. They had to get online. They had to do schoolwork, because it wasn't their fault we were in a pandemic and I was the way I was. Weeks later, I was still the same. Just cried every day. Didn't have any motivation. Tried to homeschool the kids. And then me and the baby would just sit on the sofa and watch absolute rubbish TV.
Obviously, when she was ill in the early days, it was obviously difficult coming home and seeing her not interacting probably with the children as she should be.
I was like, right, we really need to do something. Like, you can't carry on like this. Kept asking me like what was wrong, but I didn't know. I just couldn't. In my head, there was absolutely nothing wrong. It was just lockdown. They put me with a counsellor. My therapist was just amazing to me. That's when I had CBT. And then I was then diagnosed with PTSD. So it was part of the pandemic, part of then doing hospital appointments and everything alone. And I had good days and bad days. One particular day I was having a really bad day. It was a Sunday. We were going at my mum's for Sunday lunch. I didn't really want to go, but I had no choice, I had to. Chuck my hair up, no makeup, just scruffy clothes, nobody's going to see me. So just as we left the house, my mum rings, she needed something from the shop. So Tess said, oh, come on, we'll nip to Asda. Got to the car park, and he said, right, come on out. I said, no, you said you were going on your own. I'm not coming into Asda with you. He said, I'm not leaving you in the car on your own. Come into Asda. We're not going to see anyone. We're literally going to be 5 minutes. Yeah, as we were walking through the car park, I could see an old friend coming towards me with her daughter. And I remember like looking at her and Ella, and they were in a gym kit. And in my head, I was thinking, where have they been on a Sunday in a gym kit? And she's like really bubbly. So she was her bubbly old self. Hey Vic, how's it going? Long time no see, blah, blah, blah. And I literally just remember just looking straight through her. And she was saying to me, oh my God, you've lost loads of weight since you've had the baby, you look amazing. But obviously, like, I didn't feel amazing because I felt absolute horrendous. And then she left, and I remember saying to Tao, wow, like, I'd love to, like, be able to train. And he was like, well, just go and do it then. Anyway, that evening, we got home, and Becky actually sent me a message on Instagram, just saying, Vicky, okay? And I was like, oh, I'm really sorry, like, I wasn't very nice, like, when I saw you earlier. And she said, no, it's fine, you don't need to apologise, but what's wrong? And then obviously went into a little bit of detail, told her just that I hadn't been feeling well and whatever. And I said, I just love the fact that you and Ella train together and you, like, train on a Sunday. And she's like, yeah, you can do that. And I was like, oh my God, no way. She's like, oh, come to CrossFit with me. No chance. I said, no way, I've seen CrossFit videos. No chance, I can't do anything like that. She was like, oh my God, don't look at the videos, you can. And then she said, look, just come with me. I was like, Beck, I don't know, I don't think I'm ready for this. And she was like, why? What's stopping you? And she's like, right, I'll just message Johnny now and see what you need to do. So she messaged Johnny. He said to Becky, oh, tell her to send me a message on the 179 Instagram page. And then we'll go from there. So she came back to me and said, oh, Johnny's asking, can you message him? No. So I said, what do I say? She was like, just say, hi, I'm Vicky, can I come to CrossFit? So plucked up the courage, just sat there with my phone for ages, sent him a message. And then he's like, oh, hi, like, straight back to me. And then we chatted for a little bit. He said, oh, have you ever done CrossFit before? I was like, no. He said, that's amazing. I was like, oh my God, what have I done? And he was like, Monday, as in the day after. So again, I said to Tat, oh my God, Johnny wants me to start tomorrow. And he's like, well, oh yeah, then, done. I said, no, I can't start tomorrow. Maybe I'll, like, just next week. And he was like, why? Just do it tomorrow. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'll come tomorrow. Pulled into the car park of the old gym, and the shutters were open, the music was absolutely bouncing, and I could just hear people screaming and shouting. And I remember standing in the car park to Becky saying, oh my God, have I got to do that? So I was like, right, I'm here now.
And obviously Vicky comes in like a little deer in the headlights, like super nervous, head down, didn't know what, how to do this and how to do that, which is how 90% of people start.
Johnny pulled us all over. First thing he said, everyone, this is Vicky. Introduce yourselves and be nice to her. I literally just wanted the floor to swallow me up. I was so embarrassed. But they were just all so welcoming and just like so amazing. And I'll never forget my old 7 p.m. class. Johnny would come over and say, like, just give me like some hints and tips and stuff. And obviously at that time, I was still really, really anxious. Although I was really excited to be there, I couldn't wait for it to be over at the same time because I was just so nervous. But everyone kept coming up to me and being like, are you okay, Vic? Like, it's fine, you're doing amazing. And then as the hour went on, that knot I had in my chest just got less and less and less. And then by the end of the session, I was obviously like really out of breath. And yeah, I just loved it. And then I also love the fact that like everyone just congratulated everyone and said well done to everyone, and it was just a team, even though we're just trained on our own. Johnny was like, oh, how did you feel? And I was like, oh, really good, like I really enjoyed that. And he's like, oh, are you coming back? I was like, oh, I don't know. Well, he said, you may as well. So I was like, all right, yeah, okay, I'm gonna come back tomorrow. Came back the following day, and And I said to him, oh, look, I'm just going to like do drop-ins, like pay as you go, because I don't really know if I'm going to stick to this. I'm just like going to be honest. But, and obviously the kids and work. And I think probably at that time, I was just probably thinking of excuses.
A lot of people will start just wanting to do, like dip their toe in the water. I'm only going to do it once a week, twice a week is plenty for me. But it's just too addictive. Like there's too much going on, there's too much to learn for most people just to want to do it once or twice a week.
And then I think by the second week, I had done about 9 or 10 classes. So still drop-ins. So by that time, Johnny was like, you may as well just be a member. You're practically a member anyway. That anxious feeling that you get when you're having a bad day, like that knot in your stomach that you get, it just disappears within the first like 10 minutes of training. And then by the end of that training session, you completely forget about that knot that you had in your stomach to begin with. As the years have gone on, like 2 years into it now, I have met some absolutely amazing people, like friends that will have for life.
The community massively helps you to come back and keep going. Like the support is just unreal. No matter where you are in the ward last, like everyone's still around you. Nobody leaves until that last person has finished that ward. So that's really, really lovely.
People join for the fitness and they end up staying for the people that they meet and the friends they make during the classes. It's almost like the fitness is a byproduct of being in a gym with your friends that you get to see in a social environment 3 to 5 times a week.
Like a lot of us go out, like socialise outside the gym, we go for coffee outside the gym, we go for runs outside the gym, walks. Like it's not just going to the gym and training, it's a community that you'll just have forever. So I look back on when I was at my worst, and I do feel like if I hadn't have bumped into Becky on that day, if she hadn't have put me in touch with Johnny and I hadn't have found 179, it does scare me like where I would be now. I feel like might not have my business. Like hopefully I would still be married, but like who knows? Like Ted put up with a lot from me when I was ill. Like pushed him away, pushed my children away, pushed my parents away. So it does worry me that if I didn't have this space to disappear to and train and just let off them, like just get rid of that like anxiousy feeling that I had initially, it does worry me like, would I have ever got better? Like, yeah, okay, I could have more and more CBT or I could have more and more medication, but when does that ever stop? When do you ever think like, I've had enough therapy now, I'm all right? Or if you're on medication, when do you ever get to the stage of medication that you can now stop medication? At least with being in an environment like this, it's not only good for me what I went through, but it's actually good for me, like my health. Can I give you my tissue now? Because it's like, I'm not going to cry anymore.